We're talking categorically about the recent improvement in the progression of Burkina Faso towards the civilian nuclear power plant that is going to give Burkina Faso a sort of nuclear, you know, um, reliable nuclear, responsible handling of nuclear power and consumption to also aid one thing that currently, based on information, Burkina Faso lacks, which is water. According to the information I heard now, they said Burkina Faso does not have good water. How true that information is, I don't know, but based on so many reports, they say Burkina Faso currently does not have clean water. I mean, the ordinary water cannot, it's not good for civilian consumption. And according to the information they gave, they said Burkina Faso now completing this nuclear deal will enable them to fast track, so many improvements when it comes to their water capability development. So now, some Rosatom officials just left Burkina Faso. According to reports, these officials said that they were in Burkina Faso to monitor the technical part of the preparation of Burkina Faso. Don't forget, the Burkinabe legislature recently passed the unanimous decision that they will now, be joining the Vienna Convention that comes with the civil liability of nuclear damage. So if as Burkina Faso is going to be having this these nuclear reactors by probably 2030 or 2031. If anything happens to those nuclear reactors, Burkina Faso will be responsible for the financial liabilities. So, based on the information we have, the Rosatom officials, based on their reports, they are saying that Burkina Faso is very, very much capable and prepared to have, this construction in place. Now, they said there are three options for Burkina Faso. They said Burkina Faso can either choose, depending on what they feel will be best for them. They say Burkina Faso can choose between the mobile nuclear reactor, the floating nuclear reactor, or the stationary nuclear reactor, most of which we have in the European country. Now, according to the report that we got from some of the Burkinabe citizens, they said they would prefer the mobile nuclear reactor. I don't know why they are saying that they would prefer the mobile nuclear reactor. We really can't tell why they prefer the mobile nuclear reactor, but it's going to be a good development. And a lot of critics are equally, oh, welcome to the house, welcome to the house. Salute to you, man. Shout out to you. So what they are saying now is that they would prefer the mobile over the stationary nuclear reactor. But according to Rosatom, Burkina Faso is capable of having any of the three nuclear reactors. Now, the good side of this is that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger will be, as a bloc, as a confederation, will be the third after South Africa and Egypt in the whole of Africa to deploy. Oh, shout out to you, By Design. Shout out to By Design. Shout out to By Design. So that you can see the name By Design. So I really, really put some names on my shirt of the people in the Android community. These names are very, so that's By Design right there. So according to the information we have, Rosatom is saying that Burkina Faso has all the necessary capabilities. Salute to you, my brother from St. Kitts. Thank you so much for joining. So Rosatom is saying that Burkina Faso have the necessary capability when it comes to finance to embark on this project, right? Now, for me, based on my own recommendation, I could have said some isolated environment in Ouagadougou would have been better for the stationary, and probably the mobile deployment in some other regions. Maybe probably they are going to have in Ouagadougou, and probably they are going to have in Bobo Dioulasso. Now, the good side of this is that this will address the energy issue in Burkina Faso completely. And apart from the fact that it will address the energy issues, it's the cheapest form of energy, this thing, when it comes to the maintenance cost and when it comes to like how much of uranium that you need to consume. And there won't be a need for Burkina Faso to order for uranium from anywhere. Niger has one of the largest stockpile of uranium on the planet. Burkina Faso has a large amount of uranium stockpile unmined. Unmined. It has never been mined in any capacity. Now, the question I begin to ask myself is, what has France been looking at? Maybe France felt like, man, we are going to wreck whatever they have. Do you know that there was a particular uranium mining site in Niger that France completely shattered? That they emptied the whole uranium in that region. Now they went to the Alit mine. You see, probably there are still some regions in Niger that France would have known that they have uranium, but the Nigerians don't know. You see, when these people deploy on diplomatic mission and whatsoever in your country, they're coming for both diplomatic and geological. So when you see some mujahids jump into your territory and they start saying wala wakum waiga, when you start hearing all those language, they are serving the purpose of those that came for diplomatic missions in your country and you don't even know. Moving forward from here, the biggest side of this is that Burkina Faso will now be sending over 200 students to Russia to go and study nuclear science. Now, not only would they study nuclear science, they are going to be involved in the real practicals. I'm talking about production. I'm talking about the different variations of nuclear engineering, nuclear science, nuclear medicine. They're talking about nuclear agriculture, because according to the information, not everyone that goes there will come out as they won't come out the same. They will be in the various nuclear discipline. So this is a big improvement. And when the Russian personnel were asked that why are they doing this, they said that so that for future purpose, the Burkinabes would not need to always rely on them to manage their nuclear capability. Thank you so much, by design. Yes, Traore is a trained geologist. And now, thank you for the donation. Traore is not just a trained, you see, he's not just a geologist. Traore is like I always say, Traore is at the god level of goats. Like, that dude is one of the greatest president. Like, Traore belonged in the conclaves of the greatest of all time in terms of leaders in Africa. Not only does he belong there, he's one of the most intelligent humans I've seen in my life, right? This is one of the presidents that does not need a book, right? He does not need anything scripted to talk. Traore is so organized. Like, when you look at that guy, you ask yourself, how in hell is Traore coming out of Burkina Faso based on the Burkina Faso we used to know? Now that Burkina Faso has gotten to this point and they are all supporting him and they are all backing him up, man, you see, they have a leader that is always taking maximum advantage. And let me now tell you, there are some intangibles to this that a lot of people are not talking about. Not only is Russia looking at giving them helping them to build their nuclear reactors, Russia is looking to taking their defense to the next level. Because when you are talking about nuclear reactors, you have to talk about defense too. You have to talk about defense, the security of the country. Now, we don't know. I was opportune to listen to an interview of a particular Burkinabe, formerly VDP, right? His call sign is black. According to the information, I think I documented it. This guy in 2024 alone has 236 confirmed keys on the line of contact. His call sign is black. He is still up and running as we speak. So if somebody that we don't even hear about, whose call sign name is black, has 236. So how many confirmed kills with people like Captain Panteras, or what's the name, Papa Parfait Gamu, or Watao? How many confirmed kills with those guys have? You see, these jihadists, they are just giving this guy, they are allowing the Burkinabes to have so many bodies under their belt. So we need to talk about security, because I can guarantee you that the current plan of the enemies will be, we want you to start this project so that we can bomb it. Welcome to the building, families. The thought process of the enemies and their masters will be, oh my God, we can't wait for you to start it so that we can bomb it, so that the radioactive emission can be all over the place. If they can dump the radioactive wastes, oh, thank you so much, bad design. Asimi Goita and Traore have studied the West playbook. They just need to counteract their move. Plus, they are learning the Russian and the Chinese. Yes, they are learning from the Russians and the Chinese. Yeah. Now, one very good move to that effect that Traore and Goita are really, really taking right now is another DR Congo in Nigeria. Don't worry, we'll get to Nigeria's situation, because I just got the full report on the Woro attack in Kayama local government area. I will brief you all on what really, really happened. So now, Burkina Faso, to further raise the level of security in the Sahel, Burkina Faso now reached an agreement with Russia. That is where the Cosmonos deal is coming in, the satellite deal, right? So they will be able to, so because right now, I can say one thing, when it comes to surveillance, right? The enemies of the Sahel states, they are one step, I can say half a step ahead, because they are monitoring Burkina Faso with satellite, viewing. Like Burkina Faso is monitoring with reconnaissance capability. When it comes to UAVs and all of that, these guys have satellite coverage of what is going on the ground, and this is possible because of the number of years they stayed in Burkina Faso and all of that. And don't forget, some of the assets of the old regime is still around. They are still around. The politicians are still around. So the way, when you look at politicians, the way they behave, I can tell you, to every innocent and well-meaning Burkinabes, this is a win-win for them. This whole nuclear reactor now is a big win for the Burkinabes, but for the politician, hell no, it's not a big win. If only Tinubu in Nigeria can travel with 37 billion, my goodness, right? 37 points. There is something after that 37. It's not just 37. So imagine how African politicians, African leaders, imagine how much room they have in their tummy to embezzle money. A lot of people will ask the question, are they not tired? No, you can't. No, they cannot be tired. They will never be tired. Damiba has not got in. He has not even tasted what the Burkinabe, highest position look like. He's already talking about selling the capabilities of their military capabilities and sharing the money with some of his bandits that were trying to take power. Do you get what I mean? So they are like, and I can tell you, if you check properly, the Damiba failed coup attempt, the politicians are involved too. At a strategic level, they are involved, because there is no way it comes back, and they won't want to. ECOWAS will not want to take advantage of turning it into a transitional government. Maybe they will tell him to contest, whatever way you come back to power. It's a model of putting puppets in place for certain interests. But Burkina Faso president made the right move. Is 37.1 billion is more than Burkina Faso's GDP. Absolutely. Okay? That is how much somebody is using to travel all over. Go to Turkey, go to Paris, go to UAE, Man, that's the situation of Nigeria. And you still have some Nigerians that will still come to the internet to come and wash their own dirty linen, saying that Tinubu is trying. You can see that Yoruba boy that came to our platform to come and lament and do all sort of things. In his own thinking, we are doing shenanigans over here or what? He's a Yoruba, I'm a Yoruba, but we're just cut from different type of linen completely. That's what he did not understand. And I have good Yorubas in the building too. There is one of our people on the Andre community. Very good man, and he's a Nigerian, but I don't think he resides in Nigeria. That is one big advantage. People, you see, Nigerians that are not in Nigeria, right? I think somehow, some way, they are very, very smart. You know, I've listened to many of them talk, but you see, some are on ground. That's a discussion for another day. Nigeria is not the topic right now. So Burkina Faso, we have the capability to improve so much in the future. And according to information, they will not just be training this batch. It will be batch after batch after batch. So this will help Burkina Faso going on. It will help Burkina Faso going on in the future. Now, there are some aspects of this that we cannot even talk about when it comes to how the IAEA could apply. So we hope this is done. This particular set of students that are going, we hope it's going to be a covert. It's going to be. I would like to call it a covert operation. They must not know about them. You know what happened in Iran, right? So because these people, some way somehow, they see Burkina Faso as a threat. Now, I posted a video yesterday when I talked I once talked about something on this platform, that when the French journalists wanted to enter Mali, that they went through the Mauritanian desert. I don't know if anybody still remember me saying that they went through the Mauritanian desert. They went to the northern part of Mali. From Mauritanian desert, they went to do a video recording of terrorists, right? They call them freedom fighters, terrorists, freedom fighters, right? And they asked her, how did you get in? He said she went through Mauritania and she got into Mali from Mauritania. So for that brother, once again, who said that I should be trying to build a united Africa by making Africa closer to Arabs, Maghrebs, or whatsoever, man, we are still going to get to you, right? Because the Mauritanians are playing a very crucial role in making sure that they destabilize the Sahel. They are equally playing their role. Don't fall for the Algerian kabuki theater to make you look like they are in a battlefield with France right now. No, they are on the same bed. They are on the same bed trying to fulfill the same objective. So we must get it. We must get what their intentions are, and we must prepare correspondingly. So families, in Mali, right, there is a picture that I posted on the Telegram platform right now. This picture was a recent picture that was released by the Azawadian terrorist group, the FLE terrorist group. No, man, they call themselves Maghreb. Thank you so much. They call themselves Maghrebs. They're not just Maghrebs, those guys are Arabs. They are part, when you look at the map, right? The Middle East cuts across Egypt and all Algeria and all those places. They call themselves Middle Easterns. They don't look like us. So we don't have to continue to claim. How do you call people like that? How do you call them Africans? Like, I don't understand. And we are going to come into that story because that territory was an African territory. We are going to come to that story. And remember very clearly, the former president of Egypt said to the Israelis, he said, you guys left as blacks. How come you are returning as whites? A lot of people don't understand these things. A lot of people don't understand what has happened in Africa. A lot of people don't understand the history of this continent. And it's so funny that as young as I am even more informed than some people about the history of this continent. How can you be begging me to be trying to preach what? They speak Arabic. They are Arabs. Libya speaks Arabic. Algeria speaks Arabic. Mauritanian speaks Arabic. I don't get where this whole explanation is coming from. Look at the Mauritanian landmass. A lot of people don't understand the history of Africa. Look at the size of Mauritania. Look at how much people you have inside Mauritania. Do you think in reality you can have that size of territory with less than 3 million people? Do you think it's possible? How do you even come to terms with that type of narrative? It's a narrative to me. Look at the size of Mauritania and look at the number of people you have there. The history of Africa, right? Some part of it have been deleted with lies that are written with ink. A lot of things have happened in this Africa. And the disappointing part for me, you see, when this man was talking was that I looked at him and I looked at his DP and I saw that this was this was one of us, right? How can you spend so much time of this life, you know, maybe he was miseducated or misinformed or something, and is moving around with that narrative? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not one of those. So, according to the information, these FLA terrorists, they took a picture and they were posting the picture. They made a video. They were shouting, Allahu Akbar, and all those things like that. And in their midst, there were two men in the Western, way of appear, the way they appeared and everything. So somebody said, this is a geopolitical analyst, right? So he asked me, he said, Andre, what do you pick from this picture? And I told him very clearly, I said, I see Western assets in the midst of those people. Look at Canada. Look, these things are things that you find it very easy anywhere. Look at Canada currently. Suddenly you have some people saying they are separatists in Canada, right? They've been claiming, but now you see that they are gaining more ground. See, when you see some patterns, try to trace that pattern and ask yourself a question. What type of people are capable of creating this type of chaos? Who have done this before? We know them. We know them very, very well. So we discovered that these old diplomats in Mali, this in Mali and that, it might even have more to it than it meets the eye. But we'll continue to monitor. That is our look. We'll continue to monitor. Sometimes I monitor to the point that I used to look for ways to distract myself because I think it's becoming too much. And I used to ask myself sometimes if this thing is not getting to me somehow. Because the way I monitor these people, I monitor them too close. And sometimes I just feel like I don't need it. Okay. So now, whatever they are trying to do, the beautiful side of it is that the Malians already understand what their history is all about. The Malians understand why they are fighting for revolution. The Malians understand what is going on. Because let me just tell you categorically now, Mali has a big history. And this is no longer about, you see, this word sovereignty is no longer about mineral alone. It's no longer about resources anymore. It's now existential at this point. Welcome, families. This issue of sovereignty is no longer about resources anymore. It's now existential right now. If you look at the pattern, it's about ethnic cleansing right now. Look at what happened in Sudan. Now South Sudan. It's about ethnic cleansing. I'm telling you. And good thing for the Malians is that they've been able to crush without apology some of these saboteurs. And everybody in Mali that is like us need to look in this direction. This is existential. This fight right now, you can't give no quarter to anybody. You can't allow a CIA asset in your country. This is existential. When you are confronting the Sahel folks are sturdier folks. Look at their terrain. They can take more, not like the coastal folks. Yes, exactly. Exactly. If it's the coastal, man, it would have been a concluded, right, conversation right now. If it's happening along the coastal countries, like, man, the whole southern part of Africa will be jam-packed right now. I'm telling you, this is existential. You see, the people that are saying they have a territory called Azawad, this is how they take people's territory. Take me back to the Maghreb again. You see this whole conversation about Azawad, there's nothing like that. And I've seen a lot of Azawadians come to, or Tuareg, or whatever they call them, they've come to this platform telling me that, bro, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. I'm telling you the truth. Their objective is ethnic cleansing. They will do it in Sudan. And that is why when I looked at the current deal that Zimbabwe just signed with the UAE, I'm not happy with it, because based on the record of the UAE, any reasonable nation is not even supposed to have a deal with the UAE. Matter of fact, you are not supposed to. Right? You are not supposed to. With the UAE, this is like the most dangerous country on the planet right now. So everybody must stay ready. The objective is to take people's land. Egypt was Africans before. Morocco was Africans. You think all this part of that you now see these people right now, do you think it belongs to them? It does not. None of it belongs to them. It was an array, it was an extravasation of the Arab conquest. Remember, there was an Arab conquest that led to the Arab slave trade. A lot of Africans were neutralized in this conquest. So for anybody to come with some certain level of impunity and want to come and tell us that, no, don't tell us that. Do you understand? We are completely different people. So don't put us in the same narrative that we should try to form some collaboration with some people. People who they've not still. What do you think the Algerians did when they played the DRC? When they were about to play Nigeria in the Nations Cup, what did they say? They were very racist. They were extremely racist. These people don't belong in this continent. It was during the Arab conquest. Have you not seen this old land grabbing that is going on in the Middle East? Right? So for me, if you are not strong enough, you will be disappeared in this current world that we are right now. You will be. The whole history that you are reading is not clear. This information I'm giving only belongs to the spiritual ones, the ones that have enough inner, you have that inner consciousness to understand what I'm saying. The whole of the history that was written, that you are reading now, that you're consuming, it has some commas, some question marks everywhere. So you see these people that call themselves Azawadians, right? You can see that when it got to a time and the Malians were crushing them, they called for backup from Libya. Look, I will tell you this and I will say it again. Yeah, I understand the fact that some of them, some of them have choose to join the Malians and all of that. But let me tell you something. If you're an African, you choose to go and fight with the US troops. They don't still see you are still an African. Forever in your life, you are still an African. And they will continue to see you that way. Don't get it twisted. You carry, right? As long as you carry your skin, right? They will continue to see you that way, no matter what, even if you were born there. So get it. So when you look at a Tuareg will not suddenly become a Malian. I don't care whatever way you want. Look at the territory that they are trying to manipulatively with France cut off. That is how they steal people's territory. And they pushed the Arab conquest to the point where they pushed it to the northern part of Nigeria through Usman Dan Fodio. And that is what have led to this last information I'm going to be giving today about this current attack in Nigeria. There are two, don't let me go too much into this history, right? But I want to say something today that before I start this whole thing that happened in Kwara State, right? Because if you get to Kwara State, you've gotten to the southern part of Nigeria. Now we're getting to a point where Nigeria could be overrun as it is. Nigeria is getting internally fractured, and people are still going on with this bloated costume, posturing around like giants of Africa. You're no longer nothing. You are not nothing. You don't control nothing. You are not nothing. We are in this country and we are seeing what is going on. Now, according to somebody on the ground from Kayama, I have been in Kayama before. He said the actual number is not 170, that the actual number of KIA by this jihadists is 200 in Kayama local government. That the actual number is 200. When the mainstream media, the mainstream media did not even report. Like I said, the mainstream media is always going for, they are always a sort of, they channel the influence or the interest of the deep state. They lied about it. Oh, nothing is going on. But we end up finding out that the actual number is 200. Now, the person that is saying 200 is actually a citizen on the ground that lives there. According to what she said they are ready to move out of that territory. What happened? The terrorists have been coming in for quite a while, and they've been informing security operatives that did nothing. Man, you see, Nigeria is not what you see on the media. It's not, it's everything you see on the media about this country is a lie. Oh, thank you so much, brother. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Salutes. So, according to what they said, right, they've been coming to tell them that whatever religion you have to convert to Islam right now. Now, Kwara is a mixed environment. You have Christians, you have Muslims, you have traditionalists in Kwara State, and you have free people in Kwara State. Let's not miss that. You have free people in Kwara State that don't, they don't who owns the media outlet in Nigeria? Is the MI6 that owns the media? Just subscribe. That welcome. Thank you so much, brother, for joining the Android community. Thank you so much. We love you and want you to stay. The MI6 is not the CIA. Go and look at some of the media public gathering of Nigeria when they are doing some kind of, you will see some MI6 logo. A lot of people don't study these days. We look at the smallest details. We see MI6 logo there. The MI6 control Nigeria. That's Britain. That's British this state. So whatever is going on in Nigeria, there are some people that control everything. Don't talk about it. When the mainstream media wanted to talk about it, they said 10. So this is only a reflection of what has been going on in Nigeria for quite a very, very long time. When Nigeria tell you 2, know that is when they tell you 2, just know that it's 20. Know that it's 40. When they tell you, oh, it's just 2. When their mainstream media tell you it's just 2. If their mainstream media tell you it's 50, yeah? If Nigerian mainstream media tell you that the number of KIA is 50, if you are in that vicinity, evacuate that place with immediate effect. If they tell you it's 50, the number is outrageous already. If they can deny the 500 in Yelewata, then you know that, if they can deny that, it did not even happen. We are seeing things, some people will come out, they will say it's AI. So, shit. People came out with a video, it was everywhere, of Nigerians all over the ground, right? And look, this is why Nigerians need to get out of this tribalistic thing. Because right there on that ground, the people that came to KIA, they did not distinguish who was a Fulani, who was an Hausa, who was an Igbo, who was, they didn't care. Are you this or that? Tie their hands on their back, goat style execution. If you can execute, let's cut the number down, 100, right? This is some sophisticated level of ethnic cleansing. I'm telling you. Now, they said they've been coming for a while and telling them to accept Islam. Then they came back again and tell them to accept Sharia. Some of them initially accepted Islam. Yeah, they accepted Islam. Probably the reason why they couldn't leave, maybe they have some things that they cannot just give up. Maybe they have construction projects, they have businesses around, they can't just lose it. And you know, some people are old. They've lived all their life, they schooled in that very local government. Some people, see, when you get to a certain age in life, to leave a certain environment will become hard for you. It's just, I think it's a mental thing. And these jihadists came in and they neutralized everybody that they had their eyes on. Now, there was another one that happened in Katsina State. In the Bakori local government. Now, I'm giving you, these are critical facts. In Bakori local government, there was a peace deal in the Bakori local government that happened between the authorities, right? The government authorities and the bandits, aka terrorists, because they are all terrorists. There's nothing like bandit or whatever name you want to give it. They are all terrorists. They had a peace negotiation with them. If you look at the peace negotiation, it was the personnel that were carrying camera to, you know, is this a country? With this is, look, these are this information I'm giving you, they are in the public domain. There's no argument to this. Just type it, Bakori local government, Bakori. Type it on Google, Bakori local government peace deal. You will see how, if you can get the video, you will see how both troops, right? Troops, conventional troops of the nation, and they were the ones even carrying camera for the jihadists, and possibly on orders of some political bigwigs. I told you the days of democracy in Africa is coming to an end. When we argue for democracy not to come to Burkina Faso, we are arguing from the place of reality. We are not talking based on personal interest. We are talking from a place of reality. This is what politics turn great nations to. So they had a deal. That very night, they had a deal, the peace deal in the afternoon. That very night, the jihadists came back outside. The morale was high. They were seizing motorcycles, they were seizing phones, they were misbehaving. Guess what? The people, because they've just reached the peace deal, the people went to report to the policemen. Thank you so much, family. Thank you so much. The people went to report to the police that, look, the people you just reached the peace deal with, they're outside collecting motorcycles, collecting phones, and collecting all the non-tangibles. And normally, the police would not dare to confront them. I'm telling you what happens now. Normally, on the norm, the police will not dare to confront those guys. The level of capability that those guys have, oh my goodness. The police will not dare to come close. Right? So, because they just concluded the peace deal, the police personnel, which were 4 in numbers, they had enough confidence to go out there. Like, we've just agreed a peace deal. The police went, and those guys were so confident that they were there. Now, let me give you the difference. In Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, terrorists don't wait. They don't blink because they know any moment you will become a soldier that saw the sun at midnight. Do you know what happens when you see the sun at midnight? Your 72 virgins have just been handed over to you. You know, at midnight, you are not supposed to see the sun. So when you see the sun at midnight, you've been judged. Now you have to pray to God differently. Right? That's some rockets landing next to you. You see the sun at midnight, that's another world. You say hello to them. But these guys were there. They were waiting. They were waiting, like, come. And the police approached them. And the police, they were having conversation with them. And the whole conversation escalated. The police started exchanging fire. Ladies and gentlemen, in less than 5 minutes, the police came with a mag each. One mag each. Probably some of those mag does not even have complete bullets. And they were exhausted. Ladies and gentlemen, they were exhausted. No more bullets. The dog in the fight was done. You know what they did? They now came out. All the bandits came out. Immediately, before they started engaging the Nigerian police, they jumped into their van. They wanted to escape. The jihadists reached for the tires. Boom! Thank you very much. The jihadists reached for the tires. Boom! The front tire, the left, busted. The vehicle, instantaneous skidding. Boom! The vehicle fell. The police didn't die. In that situation, you pray to be gone. The vehicle, capsized, and by the time they reached, they now brought out the police one by one. Some of them have sustained some degree of injury. They brought them out. They now towered over them, and they finished the job in a devastating fashion. Now, let me explain something to you. The fact that the public made a report, and those policemen, they mobilized with terrible capability. It means that they have some fight in them. And they were loyal Nigerians, ready to protect lives and properties. But the government failed them right there. How do you go to confront men that sling their entire body with bullets? Have you seen bandits before in Nigeria? These guys wear bullet slings as if they are tying wrapper. You know what the Nigerians call wrapper? So you now go there with a single mag. Are you going to fight some public thug or something? A single mag. And anybody that have seen some of the videos we've posted about these terrorists, they come in overwhelming numbers. They come in mind-blowing numbers. And ladies and gentlemen, that was how these policemen were eliminated. Thank you very much. Because that is the only personnel capability they had in that location. Now, look at what just happened in Kayama in the Wuru local government. You will see that the level of impunity that those terrorists had to kill to the north of 200, right, is mind-blowing. To the north of 2, we've seen videos before where civilians were running, right, and people were asking them questions. What's going on? Where are you coming from? They were not ready to even answer the question. They were just like, move, you two, join, let's go. From terrorists. Like I said, what is going on in Nigeria? If it happens in the Sahel for a day, the Western, plus the influence of the Western media, is going to look as if Olympus just fell. So now, these are the same group of people they are going to capture, and they are going to come and tell you these are repentant terrorists. Families, can you hear that? You are going to tell us that these are repentant jihadists. They will tell you that they just had a peace deal with these terrorists. They will tell you that these people, after they have been rehabilitated, after they have been de-radicalized, they can contest for the presidential seat of Nigeria. Can you hear this? Now, this takes me to one last thing. Extremism has no place in any sane society. Extremism. For me, right, I won't lie to you, the best, you see, the thing is, if you cut the northern part of Nigeria out of the entire territory of Nigeria, if you split the two, the north and the south, it's still gonna be, let me say, it's still gonna be a little bit tough. How? There are some northerners that have extravasated into the south. They've been in the south for several years. There is a particular southern state called Oyo State. Now somebody that came from the north is about to become their state governor. You know what that means? That means that Fulanis will rush into Oyo State. See, Nigeria, on paper, Nigeria should be conquered right now. On paper. I'm talking about on paper. Is almost like a conquered territory. Almost. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I don't support any form of extremism. Now, extremism can come from any type of religion. Any. It's not just Islamic religion or whatever you want to call it. Extremism can come from any religion. And it's a high-level form of manipulation. You know, people let themselves get manipulated to a very, very high level. And manipulation is something that people should be against. Totally. Now, let me say this. As Android 72, by the help of God, which in my tribe they call Olodumare, I have been to the church. I have been to the mosque. Yeah. I have been in anywhere anybody wants to talk about. But I don't discriminate any religion. If I am going to a place, if the next place, look, and I feel like I need some spiritual tune-up, if I have to go to anywhere to pray, to have a relationship with my spirit, I want to connect with my spirit. We call it our Eleda in Yoruba. I will go to any place of worship and I will pray. I will communicate with myself. But to now bring any form of radical ideology that if you don't submit to this, this is what will happen, this is going to be the consequence, it's sad. Who are you working for? Eliminating 200 people? That is why I said, and it is being done. You see, yesterday, about 70 of them, they were prosecuted in Abuja. If you look at the way they were sitting, they were some of them were even drinking bottled water and all of that. They were being prosecuted for unaliving several Nigerians, families. This is reality, I'm telling you. So, like I said, and the problem still goes back to the people themselves. Yes, the problem is still the people. When you start seeing yourself as deputy Westerners, right? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your religion is second. Thank you very much. For me, right? Am I a Christian? No. Am I a Muslim? No. I am a Nigerian first. I am an African. Being an African is my religion. You can see how emotional I get about things of Africa. Instead of wasting my energy spreading toxicity under the pretext of religion. No, Africa is my religion. My people are my religion. Seeing my people happy, developing, that is my religion. Not no history somebody wants to come and present to me in a book. For God's sake, if you study these books very well, no, there was nowhere they talked about us. Be very, very. Where did they mention your country in the Bible, for God's sake, or in the Quran? So families, and like I said, when I got to Kwara and I saw the level of religious extremism and I saw the fanaticism, I said, look, I said, you've never looked at the religion from that point. Oh my goodness. When I looked at the level of religious fanaticism, I said, man, I said, this is a very good breeding ground for terrorism. I said, these people, they are manipulated, they've been outmaneuvered, they've been out-taught, they've been outfoxed. The way they are behaving is going to be very, very devastating for them. I said this thing back in 2019. Thank you so much, family. Thank you so much. I said this in 2019. And here we are. This is 2026. I said it in 2019, stroke 20, that this place, I'm telling you, if what is happening in Borno should get here, they are not going to need any recruitment. The soldiers are already on the ground, because the level of religious fanaticism here is going to be very, very, in fact, the result is going to be very devastating. And you can see, this is like, they have not started. This is like testing the waters. You're testing the water with like 200 civilians. Somebody came out on social media and said, oh, these are probably Muslims that were eliminated. I don't care what their religions. I don't care what their religions are. Right? I don't care. I think you two can make something superior special combo. Thank you so much. You can just leave in the comment section who you want me to collaborate with. I'll collaborate with anybody. You see, first of all, that's why I tell you, I don't hate any Nigerian, because I don't look at people from the religious perspective. I don't look at you from the ethnic perspective. I am talking about these places because I've been there. I don't look at your flaws. I look at your capability. See, when I see people, I told you, I've said it several times on this platform, I see capabilities. I see somebody that has something that they might not even know, that can change the life of a lot of African people. When I see you and everybody says this guy cannot spell his name, no, I don't see it like that. I'm seeing somebody that can be one of the biggest hero of our nation. I'm like nobody, and somebody came out of the Tombatu and you eliminated 200. And when you look at those people that are committing this crime, they will tell you they are doing it for Allah. It's not a thought. Will Mali be successful against France? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you why the AES will be successful against France. Number one, the Alliance of Sahel States. I want to first of all thank France. Let me thank France specially. Let me thank France specially. France did not colonize them enough. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, right? That is why I want to thank France. France did not colonize, or maybe the people in the Sahel refused to be colonized. Yes, let's put it that way. So France is still going to take part of that blame for not colonizing them enough. Now, let me explain to you properly. When you colonize people enough, right, you colonize them well, They want to be like you. The Brits, they devastated Nigeria, man. Nigerians want to be, if you ask an average Nigerian, right? What do you want to be like? They want to be like the Brits, they want to be like the American. Nigeria was extremely colonized. Thank you, my brother. Do you get? That is where it all begins from. Like the Burkinabes, they were not colonized like that. I see, that's the first thing I see when I see these people. And a lot of people in this our continent, we look at them and be like, oh, they're not civilized people. You lie to yourself. It is you who have lost your language, you have lost your culture, you have lost your identity. You are trying to be like people you are not. So when you see the Burkinabes wearing their native wares and all of that, I am proud of these people. I am so proud of the Burkinabes. I am so proud of the Burkinabes. I say it again and again. The Malians, the Nigerians, these people have their culture, they have their tradition. Did you hear what Assimi Goita said at the New Year's speech? He said, if the bullets, if the rifle is not there, the sham will not work. Look, these people are as traditional as you have it. They know where they are coming from. See, for you to get somewhere, you have to first of all know where you are coming from. And part of know where you are coming from is knowing who you are. The Malians know who they are. To defeat the Sahel will be impossible based on what I feel. Let me tell you something. There is something in boxing they call telegraphing your punch. When you telegraph your punch, the brain of your enemy has already reacted to it. So when, even if you are able to land, the impact is nothing. You see that attack in Niger, it will not happen in Burkina Faso and it will not happen in Mali. I don't know if you understand. That attack in Niger, it will not happen in Burkina Faso, it will not happen in Niger. Let me give you one information. There is a guy on Facebook called Mayure de Paspanga. You can go ahead and search this, the name, Mayure de Paspanga. This is a propaganda outlet. Now, education is good, okay? Sometimes you use education to be able to unravel some things. This guy said that the drones that were used to attack the Nigerian airport, that they were Burkinabe drones and this, and creating so much conspiracy theory, right? I love the fact that majority of people in the comment section were very, very quick to debunk that narrative. But you know why I'm talking about it is because you have about 3 people that said, oh, I see. Those are extremely ignorant people that they don't have access, that have no access to information. But families, come to think of it, if the social media was not around, what do you think it would have been? It would have been back to Libya. We would have been back to the 2011 Libyan experience. Yes. But now they cannot imagine the level of resistance they are taking. And these are not just resistance, these are methodic resistance. The way we are going against them, we are going against them with evidence, overwhelming receipts. That is why you see one of their prime ministers saying that the social media is the new battlefield and they have to win. They cannot win. How will they win? Where's the fact? They want to talk about Africa, a continent that we live in. No. They cannot defeat the Malians. And the reason is because they cannot defeat the Burkinabes. You see Niger? Do you know why they are trying to destroy the Nigerians? Like, they are not... See, at first, let me explain. There is something that has changed. I'm so sorry that I've not been talking about the counter-terrorism aspects. At first, right, what they wanted to do was to use the hybrid forces to weaken the military capability. What they wanted to do was to eliminate, they were leaving the civilians out of it. You will notice that when Bina Diara was alive, a lot of people are not seeing the success of the alliance of Sahel State because it is not being like the publicity is not enough. A lot of people are talking about the development, but people are not really talking about the military. Thank you so much. To what extent will Russia protect the AES? Oh, I have a video. Now, let me tell you this, families. Before I made this, before I came on live, right? This was a split seconds decision that I had to make. I wanted to make a video before. And in this video, I would have told you the meeting between Ibrahim Traore and Vladimir Putin, right? It was exclusively stated that Russia will protect the alliance of Sahel states. Are you getting? Are we communicating? It was exclusively stated that Russia will protect the AES. I know the enemies are not happy to hear this. Yes, it was exclusively stated. So now that Russia will protect the AES does not mean the AES does not need to put some level of fight in. I will post the video. Vladimir Putin and Ibrahim Traore. That was during the Victory Day. The Malian airport also suffered a sudden attack a few years back. Yeah, I know. Highest level, true, right? Thank you very much. Vladimir Putin, one-on-one, they were sitting opposite with both having their delegations, right? And Vladimir, I'm going to post this video on our Telegram channel so that everybody can see. Vladimir Putin told Ibrahim Traore that they will defend. See, it's part of their look. Did you listen to Assimi Goita's comments? The New Year comments, right? Assimi Goita said they have multi-layer security partnership with Russia. Now, let me tell you where I knew that Russia is not playing. I did not know that Russian troops were in Niger. If you ask me, I will tell you they are not there. But they were there. Right? They were there. They made sure that none of those drones. So guess what the drones would have done? The drones would have destroyed all the civilian aircraft. Completely. But because of the air defenses, the drones were neutralized. So why they were busy? No, it's the African core units. The African core units. The African core units. The recent bombardment in South Sudan by the Central African Republic against terrorists, right? In South Sudan. It was done by both African core and the Central African Republic troops. See, if you want to experience real military capability, the Russians are fighters and they are like that. Look, we're not into this old propaganda of, oh, we are the greatest military on the planet and all of that. And you've not really fought some real, battle-tested enemies. No, the Russians are like that. And let me tell you something about Syria. This is where the alliance of Sahel State is different. In Syria, the Russians were bombing the rebels. But the Syrian soldiers, they refused to fight at some point. That only tells you one thing. There was an internal sabotage. In Venezuela, you think if the Venezuelan military were ready to fight and respond, you think the Russians will not help them? Families, look, we've gotten to a certain point right now. Look, I will tell you this categorically. France will not come in to the AES full-chested, like we want to come. They will not try it. They will not do it. Families, they will not do it. It's a promise. They will not try. They will not do it. That is, you think if there was no Russia, they wouldn't have found a way to come in? They would have. Even the entire West African bloc cannot do it again. African Union cannot do it. Why do you think that different delegations are coming? I posted a video some days ago. Did you see the comments from Tinubu, President of Benin, Alassane Ouattara? Right? Did you see? Why do you think the conversation changed from a reservoir force, right? Apart from the fact that Assimi Goïta told them, move if you think you are capable. Assimi Goïta is like that, family. Assimi Goïta, to me, that dude is goat level. Assimi Goïta, no. The last call before the invasion was made to Assimi Goïta, and he told them, move and let's see. You will know if we will do something or not. And I was opportune to be on X. And see, that was the moment where I got attracted to the Sahel. Assimi Goïta made a post on X where he said they would take Abuja in 2 days. That was what I was like, who is this guy making this threat? Right? He said, we know that the president did not win their election. He said they know that Tinubu did not win the election. He said by the time it starts, that even his people will turn against him. Ladies and gentlemen, he said the truth right there. If that escalation had happened, with the level of hatred for the president of no, they would have got him out. They would have, in fact, there would have been an instantaneous internal coup. You know that there was a coup d'etat in Nigeria recently. There was a coup d'etat. So you think if there is an escalation, it won't be a recipe for a serious regime change in the coastal countries? Don't. Okay, so there will be an escalation, and you think Pascal Tigre will not overthrow the president of Benin very quickly? It will be too quick. So that is why they should see it benefits them that there was no escalation. Now, after that, they formed the Alliance of Sahel States under a defense agreement. That was where the Article 6 thing came to be, that attacking one is attacking all. They wanted to attack, but they are not like, see, that would have been a pivotal moment in West African history. Because it will be an overwhelming defeat. Look, the biggest resistance will come from Nigeria, and it's a matter of time. It's a matter, see, Nigeria has a serious terrorism crisis from within. You think they want to go into a high-intensity warfare where you need to spend a lot of resources, both human resources, in terms of military capabilities and everything? Do you think the Sahelians, like, they love to fight? The fight is in them. Mali has some ethnic group in that country. Like I'm saying, there are some ethnic group in Mali. I'm sorry that I'm saying this to all the Malians in the house. There are some ethnic group in Mali that they are like violent. I've seen them fight. These guys don't even. It seems as if the bulletproof is like a waste of time to them. Like, these guys love to fight. So, like, it's not even going to be funny at all. It's not going to be funny at all. With Russia now supporting them, come on now. You can see that everybody is now saying they want to have talks and they want to have bilateral this. We want to do this with respect for their sovereignty. There are 30 things you are facing. You are facing the civilians that have said no to any type of foreign interference. You are facing leaders that will not compromise. You are facing Russia. So calculate your odds. So that question that was asked, right? It's a matter of time. Now, the Malians have demilitarized the enemy to a point where the Human Rights Watch, I want you to remember that organization. They wrote a petition to the UN against Mali. They've equally done this thing against the Burkinabes, that they are killing the Fulanis. I have posted this video now. If you want me to post it again, I will still help you to look for it, and I'll post it. According to them in that report, they said because the people that recruit the terrorists recruit from this ethnic group. And who are the Fulanis? They are the Shua Arabs. So Russia has advised its citizens against travel to Benin. Thank you very much. So this is where we are right now. So, and for Nigeria, it's a lost it's a game over conversation. Right now, the three countries that I can tell you categorically now, okay, there are four. There are four countries now in Africa. Okay, right now there are five that have sovereignty. Five right now in Africa. And those are the five countries that you heard the Russian intelligence say that France is trying to launch a regime change operation on. Madagascar, Central African Republic, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. The rest is nothing. Ghana is a good nation, but you can't tell me that Ghana is a good nation, but you can't really talk about sovereignty if the Americans are in Ghana. I'm talking about at a military level, having components and air assets in Ghana. No, we can't talk about sovereignty. And the Ghanaians trying to push out France. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Now, this is a very, very intelligent information that the US, they are trying to push out France. Let me tell you, you see this US regime, the US regime, I don't know what to say about them. You see the alliance of Sahel state, you see the US coming back. They see, at some point, you heard Marco Rubio came out and Marco Rubio said that there are some nuclear states that are conniving with terrorists. I beg, which nuclear state currently is conniving with terrorists? Marco Rubio said it. He said we need to be careful with this state and we need to talk about those states denuclear. We're talking about them, disarming themselves when it comes to nuclear capability. I'm telling you, a lot of people cannot really get the intangibles of that message. That message is meant for a certain nation. You see, America coming to France, coming to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, they are not interested in the interest of France. So no, don't get it twisted. America is coming for America's interests. America is coming for America's interests. And with American boots on the ground in Nigeria, France should forget Nigeria. France should forget Nigeria completely. America is not the type of heater that eats and be like, oh, there is enough for everybody to come and share. They don't do that. Yes, like I said, it's an AES move. It's an AES move. The nuclear move is an AES move, actually. If Burkina Faso is doing something, Mali is doing it, Niger is doing it. The thing is, the framework of operation between Rosatom and the AES is that each country will have, they are not even talking about one nuclear reactor here. They are talking about the floating, they are talking about the stationary, they are talking about the floating, the stationary, and they are talking about the mobile nuclear reactor. So each country will choose whatever nuclear reactor they want. Now, when it comes to Niger, right, the Nigerians are saying that, according to the Nigerians, are saying they don't even want to use the energy to themselves alone, that they want to be able to transfer this energy for the benefit of Africans. These people are good people. Honestly, these people are good people. Niger is saying that they want to supply energy to Africans. So this is a project. Look, the project of the AES is a project that everybody should embrace. So either you like it or not, the AES is a regional bloc. You can either join them, you can go and join them. You see all these ones that might have built. When you listen to people like Chris Nolan, those are legitimate propaganda channel. And they want to take down Ibrahim Traore. They want to do this one. They want to do that one. No, the AES is a regional bloc. The way they see ECOWAS, that's the way the AES is right now. You can either join them or you leave them alone. That is it now. They have been recognized by several powerful countries. The AES is recognized by China. The AES is recognized by Russia. The AES is recognized by North Korea. I'm talking, these are nuclear states. The AES is recognized by Turkey. The AES is recognized by several countries. Probably, maybe Saudi Arabia was about to recognize them when the Saudi Arabia prince talked about building over 200 mosques, and Ibrahim Traore told him, no, we can worship on our streets. You can create job for our people. Don't build mosque here. A lot of people don't understand what that message is. Don't build mosque here. Don't build your mosque here. Go and build your mosque somewhere else. Okay, the implementation timeline for the nuclear reactor, now we are talking about 4 years. Now we are talking about, because this is the last phase. According to the Rosatom team, they came on a technical visit. They came for a technical visit, right? And according to them, they said from this visitation, they were able to figure that Burkina Faso is ready. Like, Burkina Faso is ready right now. Burkina Faso is ready. So, and this thing happened in this agreement in Zenit St. Petersburg with, Russia, happened in 2024. So we've used 2025, we're in 2026. So we are left with 4 years now. So probably by 2030, or maybe even lesser than that, depending on what the Sahelian, people want. So by 2030, 2031, we should have the nuclear reactors in Burkina Faso. And I can guarantee you that before then, you will have the terrorists almost completely, fizzled out. They will be completely new. They will be completely eradicated by that time. Because before then, remember the Russian collaborative framework of communication with the Alliance of Sahel States, where they are going to have their own independent satellite links. Now they are going to be working with Russian intelligence, right? It's going to already be operational. And with this, they will be able to monitor whatever is going on the ground. And that will not be a good thing for the jihadists. To not be a good thing. Yes, Burkina Faso is now producing a lot of gold. Mali has improved their, gold production capacity, which is good for their economy. You can see that the IMF is really talking about their economy right now. They're talking about their macroeconomy, that they've made a lot of reforms that is really, really benefiting them right now. And these are some of the things that they are seeing right now that is changing. Nigerians have changed, their uranium, their uranium mining production capability. It has improved. And Niger equally has gold. Niger equally has gold. So you see these three nations, when they put all their resources together, I don't know. I mean, these nations are going to be what God said they are going to be. And it starts with the move they are making right now. A little longer than 2035, as Rosatom has prior engagement for delivery in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is making a lot of move right now. Ethiopia is really, really doing a lot right now. More border patrol and more air defense system. The thing for the AES is that they are moving strategically. First of all is the territorial reconquest. And the way Burkina Faso is trying to conquer their territory back, to claim it back from the aggressor, is Burkina Faso is spreading out from inside. Some countries will try to encircle the whole place, right? And try to move in. But with the number of enemy countries, let's imagine a situation where the coastal countries are pro-revolution, right? Let them keep their democratic regime if they want. I'm talking about brothers supporting good things, right? So let's say everybody's security network is legit. Let's say terrorists are not moving from Nigeria, from the northwestern part of Nigeria into, and all of that. Your video is lagging. Are you serious? So let's say now that jihadists are not moving in, right? From the northern part of Nigeria, the northern part of all these countries. Let's say all these countries are keeping their security legit. It would have been so difficult. It's YouTube, just reset. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That connection is called buffering. Okay. Are we okay right now? Are we okay right now? Can you hear me? Okay. So yeah, so if every other country was to be legit with their defense, it would have been easier for the Sahel states to encircle the terrorists from outside inside and destroy them. Okay. But in situations like this where you have a lot of enemy states surrounding them, if you look at the way the Rapid Intervention Brigade Battalion and together with some of the territorial defense forces are working, they are pushing from inside, they are pushing outside. So when they tell you so percentage of their territory has been conquered, currently they have 74% from 72 the last time the announcement was made. They are improving. And once they get to certain territory, they install a new Rapid Intervention Brigade and they deploy and they mobilize some fresh VDPs. So some of the internally displaced from that place, they move back to their territory. Now you will notice that information has it that Burkinabe citizens are beginning to return home from the neighboring countries because they can see that it seems as if life is getting better in their country right now. And that is only because they have good leaders, And to be honest with you, Niger, actually, if you look at that operation in Niger, families, I want us to look at something very carefully. If you watch that video that I posted about the terrorist attack in Niger, right? Yes, exactly. Traore is not from the Fulani tribe, actually. He's from the Mosi tribe. So now, if you look at the build-up in Niger, right? If you look at that terrorist operation that happened in Niger, thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If the United States push out France, like what happened to British in the Middle East, what will come of France then? If the US push out France, then that means they will have to sell more Okrika. Because what we've seen in Paris now, Paris, they are beginning to sell Okirika. Go and ask Nigerians what Okirika is. Okirika is fairly used clothes that have been worn by other people that you want to resell at higher purchase price. I said, when I saw these things in Paris, I was shocked. So used clothes, thank you. That is what if I have not seen this thing several times, I wouldn't be able to communicate. So if they have already been pushed out, they have been pushed out already. They have been pushed out completely. They have been, in fact, it's a forever. In fact, you see, whatever France is trying to do right now is they are trying to put a stamp that it's a dead empire. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. France is trying to prove, right? Thank you so much, family, for coming. Thank you so much. France is only trying to. Oh, thank you so much, Mimi Brown. Thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. 10 super on the live stream. Oh, thank you so much. France is trying to prove to us that it's a dead empire. Don't worry, France is gone. Traore is from the Bambara tribe. Okay. See, whatever tribe Traore is from is a Burkinabe. That is how I want us to see ourselves. Okay? Assimi Goita is a Malian. And right now, the Malians should be proud of him. You see, but you cannot detach some people from this conversation. The people that were benefiting from corruption. You cannot detach their role. Those people are trying everything. They are the assets that these aggressors have within. If Nigeria private sector was heavily involved in AES, which of the Nigeria Tinubu would have zero option but to obey what creators of Nigeria, not imperially sponsor? Probably that is very, very possible. France has never beaten anyone in the war. Family, yeah. I noticed something that whenever I talk about France, right, the video don't fly. Whenever I talk about France, the video don't fly. But I will say it again. You see, the French troop who was a DGSE agent, the French soldier that was involved in the Nigerian operation, you see, even some of the jihadists made it back alive. It's so shameful. Some of the jihadists, right, probably is part of the guys that are training them. You see, some of the jihadists still made it back. Some of them were seen after days after. Some of them were seen days after the attack. You know, with bullet wounds, you know, on the ground and all of that. You know, if you check Kaziba, you will see it on his platform. You know, a lot of them. So, like I wanted to say the other time, when you look at the operation in Niger, right? If you look at the number of jihadists that entered that airbase, let's say they are 50. Let's exaggerate the number. Let's say they are 50, right? So Niger neutralized 20. 20 KIA, right? Instantly. And 11, I think I heard about 11 were captured, were arrested. And more were arrested days after. Those ones that were caught by civilians, right? The civilians almost, took their breath away. The civilians almost took their breath away until the security forces came to rescue them, right? So now you launch operation of almost 50 jihadists. I'm exaggerating right now. I don't think they are up to 50. So when you calculate the first 20 that got neutralized together with let's say 15 that were caught, that's 35. So that was a complete failed operation. That was a huge defeat for whoever planned that mission. Look, let me tell you something right now. They lost more than you thought, right? That operation, one, it wasn't successful. They couldn't get the airlift done. They were planning to airlift the uranium stockpile. That was unsuccessful. Apart from the fact that they were unsuccessful with the, airlifting mission for the uranium stockpile, a lot of their men got neutralized. Another thing, the element of surprise they had, they already wasted that card. That card is gone. Remove your headlamp, come in with a drone. Come in with a drone. While the soldiers are busy engaging the drone capabilities, let the motorcycles come in. That was what they did. So a lot of people have been asking, how do you let so much motorcycles come in? Engage them with the drone capability, then come in with the motorcycles. Right? So now, the Russian with the Nigerian troops that were in charge of the air defense capability neutralized the entire drones, right? And the ones that came in, right, with the normal motorcycles, imagine what happened. Okay, you were shooting. Let's say they were not engaged. Let's say the Nigerian forces did not engage them because of those assets. They didn't want the whole place to turn into a chaos scene. So the question is, how did 20 of them bite the dust? Some of them were picked outside the airport territory completely with bullet wounds, bled on the floor. They were left by their members. So this was like an Yoruba we say Enioriyo. This was like this was like an Enioriyo meter. Like I won't come back here again. You know, so all those you remember everything they said in the video now, right? So that is it. No, I think for Senegal, right? I think Bashiru does not know what he's doing. You know, when he traveled to the US, you know, Donald Trump said, "Oh, it's a very young man. He's doing well for himself and all of that." You know, the main leader of Senegal is Ousmane Sonko, and you cannot take that away from Senegal. Bashiru is just a symbol. The main man is Ousmane Sonko. Yes, motorcycles are very, very instrumental for this mission because, and it's also if you see what Burkina Faso president did recently, Ibrahim Traore, you know, thousands of motorcycles. So let's say you are going with the armored personnel carrier that is, you know, with 4 wheels, you can run into an IED. I posted a video on Telegram today. Did you see the explosion from the IED that I posted on the Telegram channel? There is no type of vehicle that will get rocked with that level of explosion that, you know, will not give way. But what the motorcycle gives you, the advantage it gives you is that the troops move in a straight line. The troops move in a straight line. So, and sometimes when they want to cross some places, they go with like monitoring team that study the terrain first before the. So if the IED even blows, it's not going to take out the entire, you know, column. It can only take a few amount of soldiers, and the rest will prepare for close combat engagement. So that's what we've seen in the Sahel. And if you look at the terrain of the Sahel and everything that France have done, you know, not paving roads and all of that, you know, a lot can, you know, the motorcycles have proved to be very, very decisive. And, you know, motorcycles also give you the advantage of chasing some type of, you know, terrorists to any type of terrain. You can chase them to any level. So that's what we've seen. Motorcycles can actually do a lot. So that's what we've seen so far. And you know, if you look at this information, so this is what we have brought right now this afternoon. For the Nigerian situation, Tinubu has now deployed troops to Kayama now to go and do Kabuki theater, so that they won't say, oh, they did not defend and all of that. So Nigeria right now, you know, it's a like, you know, it's a story that thank you so much, my brother. So for the Nigerian story is a, you know, don't bother yourself about Nigeria anymore. Don't bother. They're not giving up combat strategies that they can use against you. No, they cannot really use any combat strategies. These are things that have been shown in videos, right? These are things that, you know, have been provided in the public domain. Like, these are videos that are out there. You know, if you check the Kaziba TV, if you check Burkina 7, if you check Burkina 24, these are videos that are there, you know. These are things that are out in the open. You know, they can't look, there is nothing they can do differently from what is going on the ground. Like in Niger now, see, in a warfare like this, the objective of the AES is to demilitarize the enemy. The objective is not to take territories. If you want to take territories, then you just launch air bombing campaign, right? But if you launch air bombing campaign, you are at risk of a guerrilla attack. So what the AES states is doing is they are demilitarizing the enemy. You know how to recruit. You are recruiting with money. We are taking them away from you. We are taking them away from you. So continue to recruit. Imagine if one soldier with code name Black can take out 236. That is his own personal confirmed kills. Right? IMF, the economic enemy, past the terror, main reason why AES neighbors don't join them. The Alliance of Sahel States are not joining, you know, they are not joining The AES state are not joining, they're not collaborating right now with the IMF. Ibrahim Traore has not really, he has not even spoken to the IMF since. That was the first time they were speaking to Traore since 2022. That's the first time the IMF is like engaging with him. And you know what the IMF represents? They represent the US interest. So, so, and for the Nigerian attack, they've already, oh, salute from St. Lucia. Oh, salute. Shout out to you, man. Train your own, you have to train your own soldiers. The thing is, I think for Nigeria, right? I think everybody should just continue to defend themselves. Don't expect, you see that thing that Lumumba used to talk about, PLO Lumumba, that Nigeria, the day they wake up, Nigeria cannot wake up. I have said this thing, several times. I've said a countless number of times on this platform that Nigeria will not wake. It's not a sleeping giant, it's a snoring giant. They are not waking up anytime soon. So forget it. Nigeria, no. They are not waking. Nigeria is not ready. Peter Obi, who everyone called the best candidate, right? The last time he spoke, that I heard him, he said that if the US does not come and help Nigeria, there will be no one for the US to collaborate with. So I mean, what do we want? What does anyone? What other card does the Nigerian people are having Nigerian fatigue? Absolutely. So I think everybody should just stay focused on business. Everybody should stay on point. Everybody should continue to build their country. Nigerians believe that Nigeria has gotten to a developmental point where they don't need to develop further. You will see that they will start comparing anybody's country with their country, that, oh, this place is not up to Lagos, this place is not as developed as Lagos and all of that. So if people want to live on old glory, let them live on it. Continue to develop. Like, I'm a Nigerian and I'm fully in support of the Alliance of Sahel States and every other country in Africa and the Caribbean and every other place in the world where you have the Black community. I am absolutely in support. I'm absolutely focused and highly dedicated to support anything that raise people of our race, people of our kind, like our people. Yeah, that's why that is what I do. I am not, if Nigeria is not really ready to wake up anytime soon, I would not invest my energy in trying to make them see the truth or see the light. It's not what I've signed up to use my energy for. You can see that I'm wholeheartedly supporting Burkina Faso. When it comes to Faso Mebo, I'm ready to spread the word, the information to the world. So that is what we are here for. Botswana. I think the pressure on President Duma, I think the pressure has calmed down a little bit, right? The pressure has tanked a little bit. Before, the pressure on Duma Boko was very heavy. The reason why they were putting a lot of pressure on him was because of the battle he was having with the BS. Duma Boko was not having it. He was trying to make deals for the survival of Botswanans by himself. They were trying to sabotage and put some sanctions on Botswana, and part of it is what has affected the puller. They are telling you that the laboratory diamond is far better, is now overwhelming the natural diamond. But at the end of the day, they both are not the same price. You don't buy it. See, the artificial diamond is like, let's say the natural diamond is 100. The artificial diamond is 9 or probably 10. If it's $100, the natural diamond, the artificial diamond is $10. So how do you compare? So they're trying to do some sort of manipulation and everything to make it look like Botswana don't really, have too much. But the truth is, diamond is not something that can be found everywhere. Unfortunately, another country that has diamond is Syria alone, but they are not benefiting from it. Even before this whole artificial diamond thing came to be, when you have men like Julius Maada Bio in power, What result do you want to produce? When you look at what Julius Maada Bio is all about, even from his appearance, you will be able to know how the people of Sierra Leone are doing. I mean, the common Sierra Leoneans, you will be able to tell how they are doing. From the day I know Ibrahim Traore up until now, apart from when he goes to the field to play football, he has always been on his military uniform. What a man. What a man. What a man. What a leader. See those leaders in the Sahel? I'm telling you, nothing is going to move them. And their citizen, they have already sworn that nothing will happen to them. Nothing will happen to them. And look at how they all respond all together. You see, to some people, right, to not exist in this time of Captain Ibrahim Traore and these three Sahelian great leaders, it's almost as if they are rather not exist at all than to exist in a different world from this. Yes, Julius Maada Bio speaks well, but the whole thing is different. Look at what he said in that World Summit, right? When Tucker Carlson was interviewing him, he said we've been able, and man, Julius Maada Bio is just something else, family. It's just something else. So I really want to appreciate everyone for coming. We are going to have another stream today. I have some information I'm actually working on right now. So by 10 p.m. Nigerian time, I don't know what the time will be. Today is Friday. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll probably have a lot of time together like this. So by 10 p.m. Nigerian time, I don't know, but I will give a 30 minutes notification for everybody to be aware that we're going to have a live stream by 10 p.m. Nigerian time. And I won't miss it. I won't fail you. I just hope you make it there. Thank you, family, and God bless you. I don't take your time for granted. I don't really take you for granted, and I appreciate your coming. And for everyone that donated to this course, I really want to say thank you so much. I can't really remember the names of everyone that donated, but I just want to say thank you. And everyone that stayed with us, that watched the live stream, I really want to say thank you so much. And you are the reason why, you are the ones that give us the fuel to come back and always do what we do. So I want to say much salute, man. Thank you, and God bless you.